Hello, everybody. This is Not a Drill. We have brand new Truly Me dolls, finally. So today's going to be a voiceover video. I was not ready to be on camera, so this is all off the cuff based on all of these new images that are popping up online. And first off, a real big shout out to AmericanGirlDollNews.com. That's where all of the photos that you're seeing today have come from. They have so generously gone to the store in Nashville and taken pictures of everything. And I'm going to use a few of the pictures just to kind of illustrate what we're talking about today, because I have so many feelings about all of this new stuff. And there are going to be even more images on American Girl Doll News. So be sure to head over to AmericanGirlDollNews.com, which is a wonderful site for news and rumors about American Girl. And so yeah, there are going to be more photos there if you want to kind of peruse through those while we're talking today. But yeah, today we're just going to hang out and talk about all of the new stuff that has just dropped at American Girl. So yeah, right off the bat, I mean, the major release we're talking about today are the 5 new Truly Me dolls we have. Those of you that know me knew that I have been really excited about this release because I have finally, after years of collecting vintage dolls, have really gotten into the new stuff that American Girl releases, like this Truly Me line. I've really I guess, fallen really deep into the world of American Girl. And so it's really fun to anticipate all these new releases. And I get just as excited as probably any other 9-year-old, actually probably more excited than any 9-year-old about this at this point. So yeah, I just want to go through each of the dolls today and then a few of the new pieces that got released, because like I said, I have feelings, and most of them are good. A few of them are maybe a little bit sassy, but yeah, so just to start off, we'll start with Truly Me number 126. So I have to say this is probably my least favorite of all of them, just because I feel like we've seen so many blonde Josefina mold dolls at this point, and it's not that she's an ugly doll by any means. She's super cute, but she's just one that I feel like we've seen a million times over already. And you know, I think the fact that we're only getting 5 new dolls, I'm like, did we really need a blonde Josefina as one of the 5? So that's a little bit of a gripe on my behalf, but you know, if you don't have a blonde Josefina doll, she's a great option. I will say the two things that I guess we'll start with the negatives first. The main thing that I really don't love about her and some of these other dolls is I feel like they're going a little bit too hard on the eyelashes. You know, I have not always loved these to begin with, because, you know, my main criticism is that the eyelashes, like, these dolls already have eyelashes. They've had eyelashes since 1986, and they're like actual real. In the early days they were Kanekalon, and now I think they're just plastic, but they have eyelashes sticking out of their eyeballs. So it was very strange to me when we woke up one day and they're like, oh, they're painting on eyelashes. So you know, it's not my favorite still. I do kind of get it though, especially now that I have Corinne tan. I think that the eyelashes look best when they're just like a little bit of an accent on the tops of the eyes. I still do not like lower lashes, and I know that's basically standard fare for American Girl now, that we're getting basically eyelashes like at the full circumference of the eye socket, which, you know, again, not my favorite. I know you can take them off with acetone, but I don't know, yeah, that's probably my biggest gripe with all of these dolls today, is it's just a lot of eyelashes. And so yeah, the doll's beautiful though still. I mean, I like the green eyes. I think these are green eyes. Maybe they called them hazel. I'm actually not entirely sure. But another, I guess, semi gripe of mine too is I don't really like when dolls have super long hair. I don't know why, it just seems like really disproportionate, but I do understand from like play value, that's a, you know, that's a good asset for a doll, right? A lot of kids learn how to take care of hair by playing with doll hair. So, you know, that's, at the end of the day, obviously, I have to remember that these are toys for children, and you know, the adult collector market is really not high on American Girl's priority list when they're, you know, making decisions about designing these dolls. So would this be a great doll for a child? Absolutely. But again, I just feel like I've seen a bajillion dolls at American Girl that look like this. In fact, I think if you had just showed me this doll, I wouldn't have even been able to tell you if she was already in the line or not. So yeah, a great doll for a child, and if she speaks to you, by all means, add her to your collection. But for me, this one's definitely going to be a pass, just because I feel like there are so many other dolls that I think look a lot more interesting and have more unique characteristics than this one. Next up is Truly Me number 126, and again, I'm probably going to have a very similar critique about this doll as the previous one, number 125. Again, I've just seen a million light skin classic mold dolls. I'm not really sure what she's doing in this line. Like, I guess their goal is to try and probably create as many color combinations that will look like the child as possible. So maybe, again, looking at this picture, I can't even tell if she has green or gray eyes. But honestly, at this point, it doesn't even really matter. You know, she just looks like a standard American Girl doll to me, right? Like, she's got brunette hair and a light skinned classic mold face. Definitely one I won't be adding to my collection because I have like 10,000 Molly and Samantha's, which, you know, basically light skinned classic mold with long brunette hair. Like, I have 1,000 of these. So this isn't particularly for me. Now, I will say I do like the eyebrow pattern. I mean, it does look a little bit like when people were like really big on microblading their eyebrows a few years ago, but you know, they probably could have used a little, like a few more strands of hair in them, but I do like the overall shape of them. You know, I've been getting some of the older Truly Me dolls and they have a lot thinner eyebrows that have more of like a 2000s look. So I really do like this like bushy eyebrow look that they're adding to these dolls, and we'll get to one in a minute that I really like. So, you know, we're getting a lot of printing on their faces, obviously, between the big eyebrows and like way too many eyelashes. And again, this doll is cute. If you're buying this for a 9-year-old as their first American Girl doll, this is a great doll, but this doesn't excite me like I was hoping. Like, you know, this, you remember my last video where we sat down and talked about this. I want to be delighted and I want to be surprised. I want to see something that's just so different than American Girl has been making for the last, you know, 30 something years. So for me, like, if we're only getting 5 dolls, I have to say I'm a tad bit disappointed that although it's a beautiful doll, it's just a doll I feel like I've seen a million times. I swear there's a doll in their line already, in their current Truly Me line, that looks just like this. So yeah, a bit of a bummer for me again, because as I'll go ahead and complain about it now, there were no boys in today's release, and I understand that they're probably by far their least popular dolls, but y'all, I was hoping for a redheaded boy so bad. One of y'all mentioned in the comments that one of the top wish list items for you was a boy with red hair, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it. So I have to say I am so disappointed that we not only don't have any boys, we also don't have a redheaded boy. So yeah, for me, like, let me know in the comments, how many of you would trade number 126 for a redheaded boy or any other boy doll? Again, we have no Asian male representation in this line currently, so again, I'm a little bit perturbed that we didn't get a closed mouth Corinne or some version of an Asian boy, because it's completely missing from their line, and it just seems very strange to me that we don't have medium skin boys and we don't have Asian boys, but we have our 10,000th brunette hair doll. Like, is this really something that we needed today? And again, I like to try and keep these videos positive, but you know, also don't want to like sit here and say like, oh, I absolutely love all of this stuff, because I know that there is some influence that this channel has, and I don't want to talk people into buying things that they wouldn't have otherwise purchased. So I do want to be really real with you. And again, American Girl doesn't sponsor my channel, and so I get to say whatever I want. So yeah, that said, these first 2 dolls really aren't my cup of tea, I have to say. They're great basic starter dolls for a child, but if you're like me and have just been waiting so anxiously for these dolls for weeks and weeks, you know, I'm sure a lot of you are bummed out alongside me to see like a blonde Josefina and a brunette classic. Like, that is like the most predictable thing they could have done, and they don't even have like interesting haircuts or colors in their hair or anything. So yeah, I'm very curious if y'all agree with me on this, or if I'm just being a curmudgeon because I didn't get my boy and I didn't get my Claudie either, which again, why is Claudie not in the Truly Me line? I sincerely thought we were going to be getting Claudie as a Truly Me doll today. So yeah, it's funny. Like, I was fully planning to get in the car and race to the American Girl store, because I'm 2.5 hours from one now. So it's an all day event to get in the car and go there. But for the right doll, I would have gotten in the car and gone and gotten one. But I have to say, again, I feel like I need to say it a million times. These are great dolls. I'm not saying that these are ugly or you're stupid if you want to get them, but for me, as an adult collector with probably 75 dolls in my collection, actually maybe more than that at this point, but let's say dozens and dozens of dolls, like this definitely was like a little bit of a upgrade for maybe like children today. I feel like, well, maybe with the exception of the one or two we're about to talk about. But anyway, I feel like I'm complaining so much, and it's like, I don't know. I think part of me is just a little bit bummed that I'm not going to be getting in the car and going to the store and getting a brand new doll that I'm really excited about. However, up next is number 127, which I have to say, this to me, based on the photos that we have available, this is my favorite doll of all of them because, again, she looks so much different than other dolls that are in their line currently. I think the closest thing we have to her is number 80, which is a doll I actually opened in my last video a few days ago, whom I am very, very obsessed with. I love Truly Me number 80. The deep skin Josefina mold is one of my favorite combinations that they have ever done. And to look at these photos, it's really hard to tell if her skin tone is the deepest or the second deepest, but regardless, this is a super beautiful doll. Again, with the really thick eyebrows, I really think they did a great job with the illustrations that they did for the eyebrows on this doll. I think she looks totally gorgeous, and I think this hair looks great on her. I know we've seen a preview of her already, so this doll is not too much of a shocker to all of us, but I have to say, seeing photos of her up close now, I like her a whole lot more than I thought I was going to, based on we'll call them leaked photos. I mean, American Girl posted them, so it wasn't exactly like a stolen image or anything, but we knew this doll was coming, and I have to say, she's exceeded expectations. I think she is really, really pretty. I love her hair. I love everything about her. Now, that said, I'm not the biggest fan of the printed eyes, or as collectors call them, decal eyes, the ones that have like multiple colors and stuff in them. Those to me look cheaper than the pinwheel eyes. So yeah, if I had one note for this doll, I just wish she had like the normal green pinwheel eyes. But really, I think this is a beautiful doll. I love her lip color, everything about her. And this photo that we're looking at right now is such a beautiful photo. So if I were to get any one of these 5 dolls, it's probably going to be this one. But I have to say, I just got number 80. Again, another deep skin Josefina mold with dark hair. Like, I don't know. I'm trying not to like have like 100 Truly Me dolls. I'm really trying to have like maybe as few as 5. I mean, certainly no more than 10. So I don't want to repeat like a skin tone and face sculpt combination like 100 times in my collection, because I already want number 109 as well. So, but I have to say, this really is my absolute favorite of all of them today. Again, this just is a little bit more of a unique combination than we've seen previously. So yeah. Oh, and also, I guess a few of them have a new meat outfit, right? So I don't know what this is called yet. I don't think we've seen the name for this new meat outfit. It's sort of a spin on the t-shirt dress, I guess. They've added a collar to it, which is great because it kind of makes it feel a little bit more like an actual dress and not just a long t-shirt. So I think a lot of people are going to like this. And I'll say, like, I have 2 notes for it. One, I think the collar isn't quite tight enough around the neck because you see too much of the like cloth torso, and it just looks a little bit odd. Like, you know, that it's always awkward, right? That seam between like where the neck is between the vinyl and the cloth. So it's really tricky hiding that stuff. And so, yeah, I feel like a tighter collar probably would have hidden that a little bit better. And again, my only other note with this is I think the plaid is a little bit too big of a scale. I would rather a smaller plaid, again, because it's just for an 18-inch doll, like that's a really big plaid. But you know, all in all, I think most people are going to see this as an improvement over the previous Truly Me meat outfits. So, you know, props to American Girl on this. And I believe it comes with shoes and socks as well. Yeah, so it looks like they have sort of like knee-high socks and pink, like patent leather look Mary Janes. And so, you know, it's looking a little bit as a Isabel Hoffman, which I'm happy with, obviously, because I love that doll. And so like this purple plaid with the knee-high socks, you know, it's very reminiscent of that. Obviously, that doll is selling really, really well. I'm guessing that's why we're seeing this as a meat outfit. So, you know, all in all, this is definitely an improvement as far as meat outfits go. I certainly like it better than anything in their current line. So yeah, I think adult collectors are going to be really happy with this. All right, next up is Truly Me number 128. And I think that this is probably going to be another doll that's really popular with adult collectors. I know that this was kind of the first one that sort of was making the rounds through like AGIG and AGTube. So we have been expecting this doll. So Again, I think people were really excited for her, and seeing really good pictures of her now finally, I think she is so cute. And again, we have another Josefina sculpt. So we're on our 3 out of 5 new releases having a Josefina sculpt. And so, I kind of get why collectors are saying, y'all, we have too many Josefina sculpts. I mean, this is like a classic example of like, overuse of a mold, but I kind of can't complain because it is my favorite one in their line that they currently make. So yeah, I mean, I guess load us up with Josefina, but also like, could we not have had a Claudie? Could we not have had a Joss? There are a lot of sculpts that they currently have. Like these molds would be on file. I don't understand why we're seeing so many Josefina and so many classic. I will agree that it's a little bit too much. Again, I just am a little bit pissed off that we don't have Claudia in this. If you can't tell, I've mentioned it like 1,000 times by now. So regardless of all of that, she is probably, I would say, my second or third favorite from this release. It's kind of a toss-up. 129 has been around. Again, we'll talk about her in a second, I guess. I won't jump ahead too much, but anyway, regardless of how I feel about her, she really is a beautiful doll. Again, we have thicker eyebrows, way too many eyelashes again, and we have freckles, and I actually really like this freckle pattern. I think it looks pretty natural, and I like how they cover the bridge of her nose as well. Sometimes there's like a really awkward gap on their nose and it just looks very strange, but I think that this is a really good job in terms of like the face screening. Other than, again, too many eyelashes, I'll say it 1,000 times, we don't need lower eyelashes on these dolls. It looks like crow's feet. But it does look like she has black hair, which is really cool. I feel like we don't see a ton of like jet black hair on light and medium skin dolls. So this is kind of what helps her look a little bit different, right? And she's got green eyes as well, and they're the pinwheel eyes, thankfully, which is another, that's just my preferred eye type. So again, another really beautiful doll. I would have to say she and number 127 are likely to be the most popular amongst adult collectors. Certainly, they're really the only... No, I guess I'm going back on my word. I really do, honestly, y'all, like number 129. But again, she doesn't really feel like a new doll to me because she's basically 88 with a couple of updates. But again, I keep jumping ahead to her because I think I'm low-key thinking about getting her. But anyway, back to 128. I do think that this is a great doll. She reminds me a little bit of Wednesday Addams, and I know a lot of people were doing custom Wednesday Addams dolls when they had that like Addams Family revamp. And if y'all know me, I love movies from the 90s. So like the Addams Family and Addams Family Values are some of my all-time favorite movies. So don't be surprised if I get this doll and turn her into Christina Ricci, because it is totally possible. But again, this is a great doll, and they've got her in the new meat outfit, which is great. So again, I think adult collectors are going to love her. I think she's gorgeous. If I was building a large collection of Truly Me dolls, I would most likely get her because I just think she's really interesting looking. I love the long, straight, jet black hair. Again, it's just kind of different for what they have in the line now. And I feel like it's justifiable to add this doll to the line, right? It's not just like the billionth classic mold with blonde hair or whatever. So yeah, I really love this doll. And again, I'm curious because I feel like a lot of you watching this are probably gonna like have her on your wish list. So I'm curious if you plan on getting her. All right, and finally, we have Truly Me number 129, which I have mentioned like 5 times out of order already. So again, this is another doll that we knew was coming because we've seen all the promo images from the pet stuff we got a few weeks ago. So they've been teasing her return, and there's really honestly not a whole lot to say about her other than the fact that I think they have improved the look of this doll, particularly with the wig. I know there were a ton of complaints, because you can go look at the reviews on the website, that the original wig for number 88 had a shedding problem. So I've seen a lot of dolls where you just kind of like part the back of their head or the back of their hair, and it's like bald, like she is fully bald. So I would hope that they have fixed that problem with this wig. I can't imagine that they didn't, because the wig looks different to me. It looks fuller. So I imagine this is a much higher quality wig, and all of the American Girl dolls I've gotten recently have really great wigs. So I imagine that's one of the big reasons for her revamp, is to maybe like improve the quality of that wig. And again, I think we have a new eyebrow pattern with her, which is great. Again, I love the bushy eyebrows with the defined lines. Again, it looks a little bit like microblading, but this is a doll. It's supposed to be sort of bold and simplified. So I think the eyebrows look great. Again, lower lashes are not for me. I think if she just had those upper lashes, it would look a lot better. I don't know. I feel like they got it right with Corinne Tan. I think they need like more of sort of like a, is it like a cat eye? It's not technically, but just sort of like a wing out from the top of the eyelash. I feel like that's all we need, and it kind of adds that like little glammy pop. This, again, I probably have spent like 20 minutes today ranting about eyelashes, but I think, like I said, I'm just a little bit perturbed by today's release because I think we could have gotten some stuff that was like so much cooler than what we got. I'm grateful that we're getting new dolls, but I do feel like 3 out of 5 of these dolls are just a little bit like more of the same. So to be fair, American Girl really hasn't been hyping up this release at all. Like, we've obviously been pestering them on social media to like release the new dolls and give us more information, but they didn't tease this. They didn't they weren't trying to act like this was some big revamp or release. So I mean, to be fair, this was not something that we were meant to like be anticipating, but you know how we are as adult doll collectors. I mean, they could release a new shoe and we're like, oh my god, I have to have it now, give me all the information. So I feel like I probably shouldn't gripe as much as I have today. Because like I said, these are all 5 beautiful dolls. I just think for me personally, as a collector and someone who is expecting to be delighted by new dolls with every release that they do, today, it felt like a little bit more of like, let's just like, it just feels like filler dolls for the most part, which again, these aren't limited edition collector dolls. So this is just me griping as an adult collector that needs something new to buy every 2 days. So I guess that begs the question, will I actually be buying any of these dolls? So I'll just go through the list of them one more time just to remind you. So 125, no. 126, no. 127, maybe, but again, I'm not entirely sure. I feel like I have a doll that's similar enough to her. We'll see once we start seeing more photos of her. There's a chance I might get her. Number 128, will I be getting her? Probably not, if I'm honest. I do think she's a great doll, but again, just as far as my collection, that's like 95% vintage Pleasant Company. She doesn't really make sense for my collection, but I do really like her. And number 129, again, I'm pretty tempted to get her because I use pink and blue as a color palette for my videos, but the aesthetic of my channel a lot, and I feel like she would look really good like in the background of videos and stuff. So I am a little bit tempted to get her, even though, it's probably a slim chance. I have like over $100 in rewards, and I guess it's kind of telling that I'm sitting here thinking like, I don't know, do I want a doll or do I just want to get a trunk and an outfit, with my rewards? So, I don't know what else to say. I think this is great if you're a kid, today's release, but I'm really, really curious. For those of you watching it, are you excited about today's release? Was it disappointing to you? Were you hoping for more dolls? I heard from other like places, some people were thinking we were getting like 10 to 20 new dolls, which, obviously in hindsight now it's easy to say like I didn't think we were getting that many, but I figured we would get at least 5, and so we only got 5, and I'm just curious if you're happy with the 5 that we got. Because for me, I feel like I'm looking at a lot of light-skinned dolls that we've seen before. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the dolls, and we got a few more items in this release today. Again, I believe all of this stuff is going to hit the website on Thursday. That's generally the accepted format, I guess, that American Girl's been doing, is they'll put everything on store shelves on Sunday, and then that following Thursday is when all of the stuff will be online available to order. So I would expect to see this stuff on Thursday, February 1st online at americangirl.com. So yeah, we got a few new outfits and accessories and things. I'm not really going to touch on the travel case or makeup case or adopt kit or whatever it is. I'm sure that's something that's going to be really popular just as like an accessory, but for me, it's not anything I would use. I would prefer to have a caboodle as, an 80s and 90s kid. So, these are just new travel cases. I think they're great for kids. I like that they've added a pop of rainbow, but again, not really for me as an adult collector. I got a bath bomb on here for whatever reason. Again, I don't take baths. Well, I mean, I shower. I didn't mean that to say like I don't bathe. I'm just not a bath person. So yeah, bath bombs, not for me, but again, I'm sure really fun. And this thing's probably like $25. All right, so we have a couple of new outfits, and the first one is the floral fashion outfit, which is cute. Again, I think this will be popular. It's floral, it's pink, what's not to love about it? Again, probably not something I will personally get because it looks to me just sort of like, I don't know, it's like a shade of like what they did with like the Love Shack Fancy collaboration. I like a few pieces from that. Actually, my favorite thing from this set are those pink boots. I think those are really cute, and I like the pink soles that they have on them. And I like how tall they are. I could be convinced maybe to get this outfit just for the shoes and socks alone. But the dress itself, again, really great for children. I think they'll love it. And if you like really like girly, floral, dainty clothes for your dolls, I'm sure this is going to be popular. I like that coral trim on the dress. That definitely kind of adds a little bit of pop to it. But again, this isn't personally my taste, but I do think it's a great design, especially for kids or anybody that likes really like feminine clothes for their dolls. The next outfit that we have is the Celebrity Chic outfit. Now, this one I actually really like, and there's a chance I might actually get this one. I was really excited about that pink jacket because, again, we saw a preview of that with some of their promo images from either last week or a couple weeks ago. I really like a pink leather jacket. It's annoying, I guess, to have the big AG logo on it, but honestly, that's not a big deal. I probably would still get it. It looks like it's sort of like a corally pink color, which I think is really great. I also really like the skirt, and it's funny because I was actually bemoaning last week that I missed that sequin skirt from the Something Navy collection that they put on sale for like $4 back in the end of year sale. And this actually might be a good alternative to that to put with a sequin top. So yeah, there's a good chance I probably will get this. I think that skirt's really cute. I mean, the t-shirt looks stupid. It looks like it says love or something on it. Again, great for kids, but like the whole like live, laugh, love aesthetic is not for me. So, that t-shirt will probably get regifted if I end up getting this set. But I think this skirt and the jacket are really cool. The shoes look pretty cool too, although it does kind of look like she's wearing 2 ankle monitors on them. So I don't know. Maybe she's under house arrest or something, but all in all, a cute outfit with some weird pieces. And again, I don't know about that headband. Like, what celebrity is this? Is this like supposed to be Courtney Love, like with the disheveled hair and like the tiara and like the weird shoes? What is going on? Like, who? Let me know what celebrity y'all think this is. I am so out of touch. Like, all of my references for celebrities are from the 90s. I mean, clearly I've talked about Courtney Love and Christina Ricci today. So, like, don't come for me like talking about like Ariana Grande or whoever. Bella Poarch. Who are our celebrities now? Like, I have no idea, but I have not seen anybody that's an actual celebrity dressing like this. But also, I'm 1,000 years old, so that might explain that. But yeah, a cute outfit. I probably will buy it for the skirt. But really, love on a t-shirt. Like, come on, y'all. That is so live, laugh, love. Ooh. And y'all won't believe it, but my actual favorite thing from this entire drop today is the Pink Chic accessories pack. I know we got new dolls, we got new outfits, but I'm sitting here like ogling that tiny little heart ring that I am absolutely obsessed with. Now, we saw a sneak peek of that again in the promo images like over the last couple of weeks, so we knew it was coming. Like, we've seen the beret and the glasses, but just oh my god, I'm like at a loss for words. I want that ring so freaking. I want a human sized version of that too. But I think of everything that got released today, that little ring is probably my absolute favorite thing. So I definitely will be buying this set. Like I said, I have over $100 in rewards. So hopefully this set isn't too expensive. I don't know what all this stuff costs. I'm gonna guess it's roughly the same price points as everything else. So this accessory set is probably gonna be like $36 friggin' dollars. So by the time I pay tax and shipping, like, I'm probably gonna end up paying like $40 for a freaking doll ring, but it'll be worth it. It looks so cute. And again, I like the glasses too. They look like Yvette Peters sunglasses, which I have Yvette, but not her glasses, and I really like the color of these. So to me, this is a really great set. It's definitely got like a late 90s, early 2000s look to it. The purse is not really for me, but again, I'm not like a fashion person, so like that's neither here nor there for me. But the beret, ring, and sunglasses, even though it's like a little bit of recycled stuff, I am glad to finally add these pieces to my collection. So yeah, I am like a raving lunatic about this set. So that definitely will be getting purchased on Thursday with, I don't know, a trunk or another Truly Me 80. I don't know. I feel like I'm not getting one of the new dolls. So now I'm having to scramble to find something to spend my points on, but this will definitely be one of those things. I think this Pink Chic accessories set is so cute. All right, and that's it for my thoughts on the brand new American Girl releases. All in all, like, I have, my review is basically a two-faced review. On one hand, I'm like, this is great. This is for children. Children will love this. If I was 9 years old and walked into the American Girl store, I would want every single thing we looked at today. So, I think all in all, I think this is very safe for American Girl. I feel like, we're at a time in the economy where companies really can't take a ton of risks. And I think we're really seeing that today, that, no, regardless of what company it is, every person that you hear about that's in business or works for a large company is hearing about layoffs and cutbacks. And that's just where the world is at right now. And I really hope we can pull ourselves out of it this year. But, looking at the releases today, I see a lot of very safe designs and concepts. So honestly, I'm not truly surprised that we're not seeing anything crazy and risky. Deep down, it's what I wanted, and that's what I personally would have purchased. But I'm also not a 9-year-old, and that's who's getting like 98% of all of this stuff. So I totally understand where this release is coming from. I think it's very safe. There are a few things in here that I really want, but I definitely think kids were on the forefront of the design decisions for this line that was released today. So yeah, I think this was a very classic American Girl release. And like I said, it's sort of a two-faced review. I think everything in here is great, but I'm also a little bit disappointed. I wanted something that was just so different that I was inspired to get in my car and drive 2.5 hours to pick it up and then 2.5 hours back. And I think as far as these releases go, I'm good. I can wait till Thursday to order the accessory set that I think is freaking adorable. But yeah, truthfully, I don't think I'll be getting any of these dolls, but I have a strong suspicion that a lot of you will probably be getting a couple of them. I really think that number 127 and 128 are going to be high on a lot of y'all's wish list. So I really do, like, honestly, more than ever, I want to know, if you're an adult collector, which of these dolls that you plan on getting, because we've all been really excited about this release. So I know some of you have points and money saved up to buy something. So I would be surprised if there weren't a lot of you that were buying one of those 2 dolls. But please let me know in the comments if you plan on getting any of this stuff, or if you sort of shared my same opinion as today, is like, these are great, but I already have a lot of this stuff. So that's my review. Again, I always am a little bit nervous American Girl watches this and they're like, oh God, but they probably don't give a crap about my channel, let's be honest. Or at least not about my opinions as like a man in his, let's just say 30s. I'm still in my 30s. They probably don't give that much of a crap about my opinions. So, again, I care first and foremost about speaking honestly with y'all, because again, I know a lot of y'all look to me for opinions and advice on what I think about all of this stuff, because we all share a lot of the same taste. And sometimes when you're on the fence about something, you want to go to your friend and say, like, I don't know about this doll, like, are you getting her? Like, we're all like enablers, right? So yeah, I'm very, very curious if y'all are getting anything. But as of today, I'm holding out hope for a redheaded boy, a Claudie face sculpt Truly Me, and it might be a while before we see those things. But for now, I think I'm going to go shopping on AmericanGirl.com and see what's on my wish list, because I do have some points to spend, and I might just be getting a trunk this week. Before I head out, don't forget to check out my Patreon, where I have a podcast every single week about American Girl called Doll Diaries, where I sit down and talk about news and gossip and rumors and drama, all pertaining to American Girl. And then at the end of every episode, we go through all of my doll mail for the week. So I would love it if you would check it out. It's the best way you can support this channel by subscribing to my Patreon. It's only $3 a month. Another really great way of supporting this channel is also checking out my shop at idreamofjohnny.com, where you can catch all sorts of really awesome merch, including stuff inspired by American Girl and Pleasant Company. So be sure to check it out. Again, it's a really great way to help support my channel. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at idreamofjohnny. And until next time, please take care of yourself, and I will see or talk to you really soon. Bye.